On today's episode, hey baby, what's your name? You from around here? Pretending I'm a Superman. I'm Colin.
I'm David Antonio Lemon.
And I'm Bradley.
And this is Overarching. I'm Colin. Sometimes colon. I am a Cancer, both astrologically and to society.
Yeah, metaphorically.
Sure. That was mean. Let's say the pledge.
What I'm here for, baby.
I pledge allegiance to Gregory FX Daly, the one to whom we owe it all, and to our taxes, which we'd prefer to be spent on a hot tub in the Mississippi River, baby. It's already there. It just needs some love. Man, if we could get that bad boy working, we could invite all the smoking hot county babes over for a party at our place for a change, and make all their boyfriends who live in Ladue jealous. That'll show them. I mean, we're not talking about a kiddie pool in Deer Creek. This is a hot tub in the Mississippi River. Imagine the float trips. Floating float trips? Come on! You know, I think this'll really be the start of something for us. It could really put St. Louis on the map. Really, guys, I think it's gonna work this time. I just know it. 1% to the god of yellow envelopes ignored by all. And now, David Lemon with an ad read?
Hi, I'm David Lemon from David Lemon. Hey, look, there's a house. You know, those videos your mom sends you 3 weeks after you've seen them. I'm here on behalf of Hat, points to Hat. If you and your mom think I look hot in this hat, and you want to look hat in this hot too, and you want to support the show, support St. Louis, and only spend $20 on a new hat made 1 hour from St. Louis, you can grab one at Greenfinch Theater and Dive on South Jefferson, points in cardinal direction of Greenfinch Theater and Dive. You can only get them there. We don't want to do the whole shipping thing. We don't want to charge $35 for a damn hat. These are good hats too. $20 hat. Thank you.
And thank you, David.
You're so dang charismatic, buddy.
Yes,
Went to school for broadcasting.
I did that. Yep. To a school that might be dead in the next decade.
Because of sea levels rising?
Yeah, mostly because of climate change. Yeah. No.
Because we'll all be... No, anyway.
Yeah.
That's something. That's
Missouri
something we don't
devalues
talk about
education.
too much.
America doesn't
about
value
the city
education.
of St. Louis.
Uh-huh.
Fairly safe from rising sea levels.
Yeah, we're like
Fenton and Valley Park. Y'all are fucked.
Yeah.
But us, you're gonna be moving here.
You ever hear of a little neighborhood called The Hill?
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Here's some comment section readers theater. We're on a roll. I said I couldn't keep this up, but you know, bitches be crazy. And by bitches, I mean everybody in this comment section who is mostly male.
Yeah, most of the comment sections are male.
Yeah,
just in general. I would imagine it's probably at least 85 to 90%.
Sure. Yes. You know, I'll go on a whim and say that. Comment section readers theater is my way of therapizing doom scrolling. It's taken from comment sections of various not intentionally exclusively Facebook comment sections, but let's be real, that's where all the good stuff is.
That's where the heat is, baby.
That's where the heat is. And the comments have been rearranged for dramatic effect, but not changed in terms of text. Shall we?
Shall.
This looks exciting.
Interior. St. Louis Business Journal Facebook comment section.
Headline: Why there are fewer cicadas in the city of St. Louis.
Because they're afraid to go to the city, LMAO.
Too much crime. Even the cicadas know how to stay away.
Too much crime.
Too much crime.
It's the crime.
Crime?
Crime.
They need trees. No trees, no cicadas.
Crime in the city keeps them away.
Because even the cicadas don't want to live in the city.
As a species, they stay away from crime.
Life needs diversity, not monoculture green deserts that do nothing
Cities are hell on earth.
I was excited as I love their songs, and my chickens would have feasted.
Chickens are illegal.
I've had 0 in Ferguson.
None to speak of in Florissant either.
Driving on Brentwood in Clayton area louder than my car radio.
Knowing that it is just one big bug orgy makes me hate it all the more. All that hollering is boy bugs trying to get some.
I've only seen 2 dead, 1 alive and confused in the city.
Hey, baby, what's your name?
They are deafening. It's painful and maddening.
You from around
I
here?
think the KGB used this sound against our diplomats in Havana.
Say, let me holler at you.
We don't have many in University City.
Ballman has a ton.
Seen like 3 in O'Fallon.
Do they travel from state to state?
We don't have any in Omaha.
I wonder why there are more bugs out in the country. Nobody ever.
Some places flies won't even stay at.
Even the cicadas don't want to live there.
Because there are fewer trees in the city and more
They are scared of the hood.
They are afraid to go there.
Cicadas know the city is dangerous.
lack of
Crime rate,
trees.
they're scared too.
They come where there are trees.
They know their lives would end quickly.
Do you know what a cicada is? Were you expecting a Moses-level invasion?
Cicada apocalypse in Afton.
The city is plagued with plenty of other issues than bugs.
1% earnings tax.
All right.
I can't believe this is a real thing. This is the first comment section that I can't believe is real.
So what is the answer to why there are fewer cicadas in the city?
Trees.
Trees.
Yeah, it's trees and concrete and all the things that were there. It's like there's no cities.
It's trees.
It's the same reason there are less bugs in the city at any given time.
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point. I've done a little bit of a veteran in this art form now. Again, just a vessel, but
So humble.
I see the headlines now, and I'm like, oh boy.
You automatically know.
And that one, like, why there are fewer cicadas in the city of St. Louis. I knew I was going to open that up and it was going to be like crime.
You just read this phrase, "City of St. Louis."
Yep.
For some reason, I feel like I didn't get audio there, but you read the city of St. Louis, and it's just people go mad.
Yeah, like cicadas.
That's a really good cicada impression.
Thanks. My father was a cicada.
Oh, is that why?
He's dead now. Yeah.
Okay, at the time of recording, the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station has a new mascot.
What?
It's a costume mascot, a shark, shark costume, big shark head. And they had 5 days ago at the time of recording, they had my thumb is also up. It's folded in, but it is up.
That's how very German of you.
They had a post that said like, "Hey, help us name the new shark," but they had like 3 names chosen. It's like for this, whatever.
So, I saw this.
Yeah.
I didn't see this.
I saw that they put a poll out. And I'm like,
Yeah.
have we learned nothing from Bodie McBoatface?
Well, we have because they gave us options.
Okay.
They did not ask for anybody to tell us what to name Sharky McSharkface. No, his name is Shark Twain, which I think is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan.
Adding to the three-headed
Shark Twain.
Adding to the 3-headed Twains of the apocalypse.
Yes.
Mark, Shania, and Choo Choo.
Yeah.
And Choo Choo Twain.
I stole that from somebody on TikTok.
But now we actually have a trifecta. We have Shark Twain, Mark Twain, Shania
we have
Twain.
Mark, Shark, and Choo Choo here in St.
What
Louis.
about Shania?
Shania is not from St. Louis.
Is she from wait, who's the woman from the boot heel?
That is
Cheryl?
Sheryl Crow.
Okay.
Yeah.
right.
Ken Mo. The other St. Louis Twain.
Come on.
The other St. Louis Twain of the apocalypse
is Twain.
Yeah, it's Twain.
Is this the
sculpture.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Rip Yogi Berra, whoever it is that designed it. Lou Sarah?
Lou Sarah.
Is it Lou Sarah?
No, Michael
Sarah.
Yeah.
Yep, Michael Sarah.
At any rate, the other options were Mo, as in Elasmo branch, the class of fish sharks belong to.
Isn't it Richard Sarah? I think it was Richard Sarah.
Yeah, it is.
And the other name was Gilbert because they have gills. So sorry, Ian. Didn't get a shark named after you.
Shark Twain was the right choice.
Oh, yeah. 100%. And here's the thing. Here's how you know the fix was in. Because they said do a like react for Shark Twain, heart react for the other one, care react for the other one. So it's like you're going to get just like likes on the post anyway. So good job at fixing the election.
That's a good point.
Aquarium.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think I want another name than Shark Twain.
Shark Twain is objectively the best name.
Very, very good name.
I'm really excited. I thought that they had a mascot and it was the blue lobster named Stanley that they got from like after 2019's World Cup, Stanley Cup. Good Lord.
That is cool.
I don't know. Anyway.
But this is
Speaking of,
I really I really want to see this guy.
Yeah, put a picture up. Shark Twain.
Shark Twain.
Put the mascot head on David's head. Shark Twain.
Shark Twain looks just like him. Speaking of things floating down the Mississippi River,
I mean, there have been sharks known to come
I
all
was
the way up.
talking about Tom Sawyer.
I was just making a transition.
And so was Kyle.
I know you were, but I was. Okay.
There's a hot tub in the Mississippi River
At the time of recording.
It's possibly the greatest thing to happen to St. Louis in a long time.
This is original journalism, or at least not by us, by our friend.
Yeah, we got
Our
someone got our
friend who
tip
works at
line.
the Arch Ground.
Yeah, our friend Morgan, who has given us permission to say her name on the air. Our friend Morgan, who works at the Arch, and spotted a hot tub in the Mississippi River while working at the top. And David went down and did a video. Show the video.
The rumors are true, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here at the Arch Grounds, and I had to see it for myself. I am so happy. Arch Grounds? Hot tub? I had my doubts. It's been here for a week now. This hot tub gives me so much hope. If this hot tub can make it in St. Louis, we can all make it. God, you're beautiful. I have so much hope. I'm going to tell all my friends.
It really is just a hot tub sitting. Now we did get.
Ian's just writing hot tub, hot tub, hot tub, hot tub, hot tub, hot tub, hot tub.
We did get enough. It was just like sitting, in the
Arch
junk
tub.
there. It
Was
has
sitting at the junk by the helicopter pad.
Yeah, it was just to give some clarity on the positioning of this hot
I mean,
tub.
people could probably get it from the video.
Sure, that's true. Yeah, it's down right by the arch, like in between the Eads Bridge and the I-44 whatever bridge. What is that bridge called?
the
What,
Poplar
the
Street
Poplar
Bridge.
Street
Poplar Street Bridge. And but yeah, it's down there with all the wood and all the trash
Soot.
that's chilling in the Mississippi River.
Yeah, big muddy.
But yeah, big muddy adventures
Large,
/ dance company.
muddy.
But it has been removed, moved.
Probably whenever you see this, it could be in another life form.
I think what they did, they put it on a barge now,
Yeah.
which is probably for the best.
So it's
'cause
south of Poplar now.
we were definitely gonna jump in.
We were definitely going to. Right as the video came, it had been in the same place for a full week, and I was just crossing my fingers until I could get out there and had the time to do so to make a video.
We said it in the pledge, but like, really imagine the float trips though. Imagine the implications for float trips.
I think our video gave people some incredible ideas, and I think people are going to start.
Can't wait to see the future.
We might get sued.
Can't wait to see the future.
For people's deaths.
Don't
No.
do anything we
Wrongful death
say
lawsuit
to
for the hot tub
do.
video.
Don't do anything that you think of based on things we said to do.
But if you do and it works,
We would love the credit.
we would love the credit and 10%.
Yeah.
Not as important as the hot tub, granted. So like, don't get
Much can be.
don't get your hopes up about this next segment. But at the time of recording, population increase in the city of St. Louis.
Yeah, this is incredible.
Whoa. Okay.
In 2020, this is
Actually,
from
it is credible.
It is credible. According to Greater St. Louis Inc. and U.S. Census data, in 2020, roughly 26,000 people lived in the Central West End, Midtown, Downtown West, and downtown neighborhoods in the city. Now, it's 2024. I know it's hard to believe it's been 4 years since 2020. Roughly 30,000 people. Roughly 30,000 people live in the area, and that is a 13% population increase in those areas. Rest of the city still losing population, but like we've been saying forever, there are many, many, many areas of the city that are flourishing, and the ones that aren't are sad, underfunded, crumbling for a variety of reasons that have nothing to do with the people who actually live there, and the people who get out of those areas have every single right to do that.
Yeah.
So
City in general, population decreasing, region as a whole, where stagnant.
Yeah.
But then these specific, I mean, you could say this. I mean, this is Central Corridor.
It's like pretty much every. Like you could argue it. Actually, you can't argue. It is all four neighborhoods that outline the Central Corridor.
So as just three idiots who are interested in this stuff but are not scholars and not researchers, what are our wild assumptions or lessons learned from? What does this tell us about the world we live in? What does this do for everything?
I know David probably has opinions on this because it has a lot to do with development. But according to this article, of course, the housing problems about building houses, right?
Yeah.
There's been, and a lot of it not super affordable.
Right.
I'll give that. But they've been built. It's a lot of development. It's a lot of new housing stock in this area. The double-edged sword with that obviously being, the reason we say the pledge to this guy every time is like, we need affordable housing. That is a problem in its own right. Rich people moving into the city and paying high taxes is also a good thing.
Yeah.
Because the tax money pays for everything we want to happen in the city. So please keep doing that, rich people. We, it's just make sure we're not make sure we're not
like a commercial as well for like the rich people of the world. Be like,
get more rich people to move to St. Louis to pay taxes.
Yeah.
Little do you know.
Yeah. Like complicated. This is super buzzy. Ready for it? Rich people move here. City, make structure so when rich people move here, it does not displace poor people. Promote ownership in housing for the middle and lower class.
St. Louis second in generational wealth to New York City in country.
Ooh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I mean, that totally tracks.
Besides New York City, St. Louis has the second highest number of families of generational wealth, like per capita, that is, in America.
That's wild.
And I was just talking about this to a gentleman yesterday, and if you look at the cities where generational wealth is a thing, it is cities that have, who would have guessed it, higher populations of black people. Atlanta, Baltimore. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What the implication being?
That.
Oh, yep. You know what that means.
You know what that means. That's the implication.
You're saying that wealth concentration happens at the expense of some other, and there's a history of black people in this country being designated as an other. And
extortion.
Extracted wealth from.
Yes, exactly. Extracted wealth. That's exactly right. Taking wealth from other. Yes.
Yeah.
Seize the means of production, everybody. Seize those means.
Statistics.
Yeah. Also, just to go further on your point, it's not the fact that we're not building enough houses. It is sort of that. Yes, we aren't. We're not building enough houses. We're really not building enough of the right houses.
Well, I think what this shows is that we are building the type of housing stock a lot in the Central Corridor that specific financial classes want.
It is middle class to super wealthy, and like that's it. It's like upper middle class, honestly. It starts at upper middle class and then goes up.
Yeah.
It truly does.
And then, I mean, what is middle class anymore?
Well, it's so funny that there's these developers. I'm not going to dox any developers, but Green Street in specific. So they do lots of luxury development, right? And they consider it luxury living, and it is
Lux living, if you will.
Yeah, Lux living. If you want
to abbreviate the concept
out of them. I don't have anything against Green Street, by the way. I'm just being ridiculous. They call themselves luxury living, and it's just not even remotely that. So they can charge a premium for it, and you're actually getting materials that are terrible and crappy. You get LVL like flooring, and
the finish just reminds somebody of a hotel, so they think it's nice.
It's not even that. It's not even like a hotel. It's worse than a hotel. It's way worse than a hotel. It's like a Comfort Inn and Suites.
It's the landlord treatment, but you can own it.
But you can't because these are apartments.
Yeah. Oh, they're apartments. Okay, yeah.
Usually, right?
Yes, they're all apartments.
Which is so that's crazy too, right? So I'm gonna break out the G word real quick.
Ooh,
geriatric.
Grandma. Oh,
sort of.
Whoa.
Gentrification.
Worse.
Well, yeah. It's not great. Depending on your grandma, I guess. We've typically come to know that word to mean a lot of things, and it's a placeholder for a lot of things, and it's a very buzzy word, but it displaces people who are renting when their rent goes up because other things in the neighborhood get built that drive the land value up, and they don't own that property, so they get forced out. And those people are predominantly black, predominantly poor. What we're seeing in this sort of enshittification of the world in terms of real estate is the rich people ain't owning their houses either. These are all luxury apartments that they are renting for crazy, crazy, crazy amounts. And if you want to live in the Central Corridor, you're going to pay that rent, buddy. And and it's just like
from a corporation who they scale is their business model, and so the greater they scale, the more control of the stock they have. Therefore, the more they can, even if it's not a true monopoly, there's only so like they can still kind of control pricing models. Which it's interesting too on the simplified version or the one simple version of gentrification, which is somebody develops a low value piece of property where there are working class and poor people living at paying rents that they can mostly afford. Someone comes in, develops stuff around that, land values rise, and therefore the working class and poor folks rents go up and they can't afford it and they have to move out. If the owner, the landlord of the property that the working class and poor folks are living in owns that property, the fact that the land values thereon go up doesn't necessitate, with the exception of maybe like property taxes, but outside of just that number, doesn't make their cost go up to maintain the housing. So like,
the hand of the market doesn't account for personal goodness, though. Like the only thing keeping the rents low, or at least just only accounting for property taxes, is like just the landlord's goodness. Which those two words, landlord and goodness, have come to be an oxymoron.
Well, and the point I'd like to make here is that we think about the complicated issues of gentrification because people will say, someone will say, hey, I want to do something in this neighborhood that will, on its face benefit the neighborhood. You're adding, it's like if you're adding a Target with apartments on top of it, and people will say, well, that's gentrification and that's dangerous. And it's like, well, sure, but also if if you're saying don't develop an area because it's going to force poor people out of places they can afford to live, if we as a society think that we should have places for people of all income levels to live, we as a society can come together and say the rules are going to be written as such that the cost that there is always going to be a place where someone can afford to live. We can make that choice collectively. Society is not a zero-sum game.
But the market is.
Society is not a zero-sum game, and the market can suck it, buddy.
I want to name that it is pretty rich. The three of us, white dudes of a fair amount of privilege who own a business and a home and whatnot.
We're just looking at things and making shit up.
Sure.
At least I am.
Speak for yourself.
The way I see it, and the way I've talked to I've talked to people in this city, and I feel like a vast majority of I don't want to say vast majority, the vast majority of people that I encounter as my own little socialist bubble of like people that I like to talk to. The system as it is, making space for lower income people to live, obviously good, in support of rich people paying taxes, also good. It's unfortunate that the system that has been laid out around us makes one of those things often displace the other.
Yeah.
And it's really a shame.
So to kind of point out the difference between, census-wise, population-wise, 2000 to 2020, those 20 years will showcase a better idea of where things are going, right? It's going to truly talk about real
It's a better representation of a trend than the past 4
real
years.
progression of the city, right? You think areas like Shaw, Tower Grove South, areas that people talk about
The places that our friends are excited about moving to.
Yeah, like friends. It's for some reason like those two places more than anything else I hear in real estate. It's just like I want to that's the bastion of places that I want to live in St. Louis.
They're the places that your St. Charles family feels comfortable with you going. Maybe.
Sure.
Not really.
Yeah, probably even not that. Probably not that.
No.
In 2000, the population of Shaw was 8,243 at the census. Now, in 2020, 6,919, a loss of 16%. Okay. Tower Grove South, 2,000, 14,745 in 2000.
Oh, gotcha.
14,745. 2020, 12,719. 13% drop. Almost 14. So very similar in percentage of drop of population.
But what aren't they doing in those places?
It's twofold. It's the fact that families don't have a lot of options of places to live in St. Louis when they want space and they want single family homes. Because in St. Louis, we have this idea of single family homes need to be like 2,000 square feet plus.
And have a yard.
And have a
Do you really think that's
So
it and
what's
not
happening?
the schools? Like, do you really think that's it and not like, ooh, I don't want to go to single public
That's
schools?
twofold. That's the other.
Well, that's the other fold.
Yes.
Got it.
But the big
I
thing
didn't
is
mean to- I
space.
didn't
The
mean
big
to
thing is it's
pre-fold
truly,
you.
yes, schools matter, but
So-
it's
so
space.
it's-
So what's happening is you're getting rid of quadplexes and duplexes, and you're shrinking them from quads to duplexes and from duplexes to single family homes. And so it's shrinking a lot of that, and you're getting rid of those properties while doing that. And so that's part of the shrinking of that, right? So you're thinking, well, why? Well, what's it then? Are we not building enough space? And it is that, and we're not building. So those are, we talk about those things as, take somebody to Shaw, take somebody to Tower Grove South, like show them that St. Louis is like a great hip place to live. And you're like, don't take them to those two places first, okay? Those two places are fine. Like, they're cool.
Yeah.
But, like,
Take them to Cherry Street, baby.
let's talk about
Throw some
this.
hair on your chest.
You ready for this? As far as stlouismo.gov says, the population downtown of people living downtown St. Louis, ends on 14th Street, mind you, was 806 in 2000. Right now, it's 5,400 living downtown.
That's
A population growth of 575%.
that's
We're building
that's
downtown.
wild.
Remember when I said like ages ago, maybe not even on the show, just in real life, I was like, the place that is going to bring St. Louis back is downtown. And people are building.
It has the most to grow.
It has the most to
It
grow.
has the most to go, the most to grow.
It
I
does.
think about like the lofts and the restaurants and the nightlife on Wash Ave.
Downtown West, 2,200 people live there in 2020. 5,115 people live there now. 132% increase.
So getting just kind of to put a fine point on this.
Midtown, 4,400. Now 6,800.
There you go. Yeah.
Central Corridor is
Booming.
going nuts.
So to put a fine point on this, there is evidence of housing stock for mid to low income people being taken away due to these flips of quadplexes into duplexes and duplexes into single family homes.
That's part of it.
It's a lot of it. I mean, in the city at least. I mean, the place I live is evidence of that. Flipped in 2000 from a quad to a duplex.
Yeah.
Like it is, like I feel guilty. Like in that regard. Like,
But that's the thing is like
I was
you
10
also
in
like
2000.
wanna,
I didn't do it.
That's the thing though. But that's the thing.
But-
You also want to start a family potentially, and you want space for the
Sure,
kids.
and that is exactly.
And you
We
can't-
definitely
you can't
had that
blame
thought.
people for that.
Sure. And I think that's what that is what gets lost in all this conversation is, we're not blaming the system. We're blaming the people who move in there, and the people who, like Bradley says, people live there. Right. And it's like, there are people being pushed out of their homes because ownership hasn't been a thing for a lot of people and forever.
Yeah, also, ownership is like a very American thing.
Sure, but it's the one safeguard against gentrification, right? Like it you have to own, or else
Or else anything could happen to you.
right.
Because you don't because there's not laws set in place to protect you.
Co-ops.
There you
go,
Co-ops.
But
So-
what I just to, we need to get out of this.
Yes, we
this.
do. Moving on.
This story wasn't about gentrification. It was about cool.
But it's
cool,
important to have the conversation.
Yeah, but but it also is about gentrification. The 4,000 person difference in the Central Corridor. I don't know but I don't know for sure. But I would make a bet is largely upper middle class people from afar, And there's nothing wrong with, and again, that's the point. Nothing wrong with the people. Please spend your money. Please spend your tax dollars in the city of St. Louis by all freaking means. City of St. Louis, use those tax dollars.
We should 100% make a commercial of pushing St. Louis to wealthy people and pushing St. Louis for like people with money to move here in general.
You know what? And
Let's do it.
Like all good luxury apartments, we have a hot tub now.
Hey,
Game time!
we're doing a draft. We have to give a little bit of credit to the germ of this idea came from a conversation from somebody who walked into Greenfinch to buy a hat.
Hat.
To buy a hat.
They said
Hat.
In the conversation they brought up they said the phrase Mount Rushmore of St. Louis.
So we have devoured this nice man's idea, and we are now going to regurgitate it back to you like baby birds. We're going to feed you the good, sweet, pre-chewed content. Nom nom, pit pit pit. Mount Rushmore of St. Louis.
We're doing a draft.
Great
We're each going
impersonation of my
to
son at dinner
we're
time.
each going to submit our 4 great St. Louisans that we believe belong on the Mount Rushmore of St. Louis.
Yes.
And so we need to figure out who's going to go first.
Ian.
Can you RNGS, please?
RNGS. What did you write there? Patreon award?
1 through 100?
Under 100.
I have my number.
Cool.
Great.
And we're wrapping back around.
On-
When we say it on 3, we'll say our
Yeah,
number.
it circles around. On 3, we'll each say our number.
Yep.
1, 2,
2, 3.
82.
Oh, no.
82 was mine.
I said 36.
I said 33,
and
and
he said
he said
33.
36.
Closest is Colin because I had 72.
Yeah. I'm going to go third.
You're going to go third.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because I think there's...
A snake draft, right?
It's a snake draft. Yeah. So that's strategic. Yeah, because I do feel like... I feel like I got some picks that you guys aren't going to pick, and my picks are going to rock.
That's how I feel, too. So,
You're going to rock?
I'm taking a bet.
Yeah. All right. Then in that case, since you took the third, I will take the first pick. I
always get the second. It's my favorite place.
don't think
having some
there's an obvious first pick, but I think there's a good case for one of 3 in the first pick, and I want to get the best one of those 3. Now, my idea of Mount Rushmore is it's got to be...
I'm keeping this away from you. Don't look at this schmuck.
When I'm forming my Mount Rushmore of St. Louis, I'm trying to get people who St. Louis would not be what it is today without them. Okay? And so, for my very first pick, we need to go back to 1764. The founding of the city itself.
Going back to biblical times.
That's right. That's when the Bible was happening.
Which one? Which guy are you choosing?
So, of the 3...
You got Pierre?
Uh-huh. Who are the 3, David?
So you got Pierre, you got Augustus.
Uh-huh.
And then are you gonna do one
Mr.
of
St. Maxent?
Okay, that was
No, I'm not going to pick him. I'm picking August Chateau.
Augustus.
Way to say that like Siri.
No, it's not Augustus.
Augustus.
It's not Augustus. It's August with an E.
Oh, that's right. You're
No,
right.
I
It
was
is
saying
August.
Chateau.
August.
Yeah.
Shoto, baby.
Augusty.
August Shoto. Rene August Shoto Jr. He's one of the men credited with founding the city of St. Louis. The reason I choose him... The reason I choose him over St. Maxent, who no one knows about, or Pierre Leclerc, is that... So Pierre Leclerc is the dude who is shacking up with August Choteau's mama.
Yes. Have you not heard this? Are you just learning about this for the first time?
I'm just learning about this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
It's the best part about St. Louis's
read
founding.
the Wikipedia, read some... See, it's wild. It's fun.
So repeat that.
Yeah.
August Shoto is the son of the woman who Pierre Leclerc was shacking up with.
So, wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that the best St. Louis fact?
That's incredible.
I love that.
Laclede's Landing.
But here's the thing.
Laclede has landed.
There's Laclede's Landing. There's Shoto's Landing. Laclede's Landing was named in honor of Pierre Laclede. Shoto's Landing, where Shoto actually landed, because Pierre Laclede said, "Hey, August, take 30 men and get in a boat and go over there and clear the land." So August was the guy who actually set foot on the space where they were going to establish the city and cleared the land with a bunch of other dudes. Also, Pierre Laclede owned slaves.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
So that's my number one pick.
And also sent his bastard son to go do his dirty work for
stepson.
him.
Or like common law stepson.
Okay. I prefer it my way.
Well, your way's inaccurate, so open up Wikipedia and start doing your research, buddy.
On Wikipedia, the best primary source
Yeah.
for all affairs, all historical affairs.
All right, so with the first pick in round 1 of 4, I have Shoto.
Okay, I'm doing my Mount Rushmore strictly off. I gotta look at these people. I gotta look at these people's faces for the rest of my life. This is David Lemon's the sexiest St. Louisans that I get to look at.
Got me so off guard.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
That's my Mount Rushmore, baby. Who's hot? Who's hot? I'll tell you who's the hottest person in the entire history of St. Louis. That's difficult. But vibes is a big important part of it for me too.
Sure.
Attractiveness is a vibes thing for me too, right?
Yeah.
I think it goes without saying that I think the sexiest person that has ever existed.
He's about to put his wife on the St. Louis Mount Rushmore.
It's Michael McDonald.
Hey, all right.
It's
And Bradley deletes a name.
No. I'm taking notes.
But like he's so formidable in terms of my upbringing.
And you're still bitter about losing him to me in the baseball draft.
Of which I beat you in, so no.
But I beat the both of you.
That's not true at all.
Phyllis Schlafly was a great pick, but it's not the only pick.
You live and die on that.
Gets on base.
That doesn't matter.
100% of the
That
time. I also
doesn't matter.
got Jackie Joyner Kersey.
It doesn't matter.
Go back and listen to that episode, because a lot of you didn't. Tell us who won, because we need this settled.
That might be our best episode ever, and
It's
no one
definitely our
watched
best
it.
We
draft.
truly, please, not just to get the
Or
the
don't,
views,
because we need to recycle that.
not
draft.
just to get the views.
Yeah, we might just recycle it.
Not
Good
just to
point.
get the views.
Anyway, shut up. That's my second pick. That's my first pick. As the second pick of the draft is Michael McDonald.
Mike
Okay.
McDonald.
I'm gonna look at his face all day long and just be like, "Hey, buddy."
He's still alive?
Yeah,
Oh my God, yes.
He just-
Our friend,
he just wrote a memoir.
Oh.
our friend just was in the recording studio with him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
And I wanted to be there
So-
so badly.
My Mount Rushmore, objectively the best one. I broke it down into 4 categories
Weak. This is gonna be
That-
so weak.
that are representative of St. Louis past and present, trying to encompass this great, wide-ranging, diverse city in 4 things. 4 things.
This is gonna take a while. Hurry up.
So you got to
Bradley's was twice as long as mine.
You got to make opening argument. Shut the fuck up. I'm making an opening argument. So you can't yell and win a court case, Donald.
Duck. Continue.
The other one. The one that's guilty.
Sutherland.
Guilty.
That was a good Donald Sutherland impression. That was really good.
Guilty. 34.
Nice, excellent work.
So anyway, my 4 categories are food, culture, history, and architecture. The 4 things that St. Louis is real proud about. So each one of my picks is going to represent one of those categories. You might not like all of them, but they do in fact represent St. Louis holistically. So I'm going to start with my 3rd pick with food. You might not know this man, but he has affected all of our lives, and we all have opinions about his product progeny. And that is Tony Costa. The inventor of Provel cheese,
Okay.
with my first pick, the inventor of Provel cheese. Allegedly. There's some weirdness there. Tony Costa, Provel cheese. Would you have St. Louis without Provel cheese? I don't know. We'll never know.
Well, don't look up Tony Costa on Wikipedia because I don't think that's the guy.
I hope it's not.
This isn't Tony Costa. Antone Charles Tony Costa, sometimes referred to as Cape Cod Vampire or Cape Cod Cannibal.
Cape Cod Vampire.
I do hope it's him now. This is Tony. He apparently owned a grocery store on the hill. He collaborated with this Wisconsin-based cheesery, and now the grocery store is called something else, but it's still in business. Anyway, Tony Costa, maybe a vampire, and also the inventor of Provel cheese. With my fourth pick, and I'm going to get a little wild with this, because we didn't lay down any hard and fast rules.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw a little bit of a wrench in this draft.
Yeah.
A big stainless steel wrench.
Yeah.
For architecture, I'm not going to pick Eero Saarinen.
Of course not.
I'm going to pick the arch. The arch itself for architecture.
Which face of the arch? You got to put a face
East or
on
west?
Mount Rushmore.
East or west?
The west facing.
Incorrect.
Face. The west facing face. The one that faces the city.
All right. Well, thanks for losing the draft so early.
Incorrect.
But
You had two choices and you chose the obvious incorrect pick.
No.
Okay.
Cool. Give us a reason why you're right, and then move on. We'll get to David's next.
Because it's not about the view of the arch. It's about the view from the arch. Because we're just talking about the arch. I didn't pick the entirety of downtown. I picked just the arch. We're talking about something that's carved into stone, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm not carving the whole city. I'm carving the arch.
Here's the thing. I'm glad you picked the arch. I'm glad because I have a weird pick too.
Thank you. So, Provel cheese and the arch. 3 and 4.
Great. I'm really happy for you. I'm happy. I really have an affinity for this person. I think I've said it before.
It's his wife.
Yeah, she's really great.
His Mount Rushmore is just going to be 4 identical carvings of
Be
bread.
4 brands.
4 brands.
4
sitting
brands.
in a hot tub.
Yeah, I don't think this person can be touched in terms of like her craft. She is on top of the world right now when it comes to what she does. Her talent knows no bounds. She is just a super iconic person in the world, and it's SZA. I love SZA. She's so great, and she's just I can't get enough of her lyrics. She's so funny. Like her lyrics are super creative.
As Bradley said a while ago, petition to call all scissors scissors.
Yeah. I'm in. I'll call them scissors. I think I might already do that without knowing.
My second pick, number 6 overall in the second round, is, Mount Rushmore for America has like 3 like really early old dudes and 1 like slightly more recent dude. So for the Teddy Roosevelt of my St. Louis Mount Rushmore, going with Bob Castley.
All right.
Bob Castley, I mean, obviously...
I like that.
Everyone knows Bob Castley as like the dude who made the City Museum, also like the big turtle in Turtle Park, the snake eating the highway overpass, the, never completed, gone too soon, Cement Land. But just as far as like someone who is, the perfect nexus, or like the most iconic nexus of like artist and developer, really, he encompasses something so true about the spirit of St. Louis as a city and as a place where we've said this a bunch of times, compared to a lot of other cities of size and note, St. Louis is a place where you can just kind of do shit. You can just kind of like say, I got an idea, like, let's go for it. Everything else notwithstanding, it's a lot more accessible to get into making something happen. And Bob Castley was like the icon of like, I'm going to make something happen. And it was super cool.
Yeah.
Here's where the top of the third round, this is where not only do I win the draft overall,
You don't win if you say you have. Like you don't win if you have to explain why you win.
But make you guys really, really mad that you don't have him, and not only that you don't have him, that you didn't. Not mad, but embarrassed that you didn't think of him. This is one Erastus Wells.
You think what I'm thinking?
Yes, he is the father of Rolla Wells, one of our favorite mayors of St. Louis historically.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But more importantly,
Erastus hardly know us.
Erastus Wells is train daddy in St. Louis.
So you built Union Station?
No. I'm not talking about big trains. I'm talking about small trains. I'm talking about streetcars.
Streetcars?
I'm talking about streetcars before they were streetcars, saying like, you know what? I was in New York, and they've got these buses pulled by horses. We should do that.
Don't
in
like
St.
him.
Louis.
He's comparing us to New York.
No, well, he said, I saw this idea in New York that was pretty cool, and it moved people. And so, have you ever heard of the neighborhood Wellston or the Wellston Loop?
Yeah.
Named after Erastus Wells.
I thought it was named after Rolla.
No, it's named after his dad, Erastus Wells. But like made some of the first like narrow gauge lines, doing commuter rail, getting like the people in the suburbs of what became Wellston, getting access to the city. Like a lot of his efforts to create different public transit lines that were rail or streetcar or cable cars that we even had going up like Olive and Boyle. That was all his initiative. He was the major driver behind that. And real cool dude. And so like the thing that's in our history that has been kind of erased that we want back, he's the icon of that. He's the progenitor of that. Erastus Wells, everybody, train daddy.
I've got a face in St. Louis that I've been in love with since I was a child. I'm pretty sure a lot of children around St. Louis agree with me on this. We've got to pander to the kid audience too, right? There is nobody that has a more lovable face and will forever have a lovable face. That's hard to say. Lovable face in St. Louis than Fred Bird.
Brent Lemon.
Brent, yeah, but Fred Bird. Fred Bird will forever be an icon. They transcend the concept of time.
Truly, like as I was thinking through my list, I was like, is there like, because Cardinals is like the predominant sports franchise that brings the community together. I was like, is there a face related to that? And I didn't come up with Fred Bird. I think Fred Bird is if you're going to say I need the Cardinals to be a part of this Mount Rushmore, Fred Bird is absolutely the correct image. Fred
Bird is the face of the club. It was Yachty. But we got Fred Bird back. There is no face of the club anymore. It is Fred Bird.
Fred Bird for manager.
Fred Bird, take us home, baby. Fred Bird for manager. Yeah. I'd be fine with that,
I'd like to see an ump try to throw Fred Bird out of the game.
That'd be great.
That would be amazing.
Fred Bird just put the beak over top of the umps. Yeah.
Great move. Iconic move.
Be glorious.
It is such an iconic move.
For my fourth pick, a guy who he did some stuff. No, so historical pick. He was a fierce abolitionist, probably the closest thing we have in St. Louis to John Brown.
Yeah.
Mr. Melanphy was a part of his life, but why talk about Melanphy when we can talk about the guy himself? I'm gonna go with my Teddy Roosevelt pick, Elijah Lovejoy.
Okay.
Lovejoy.
Yeah.
Wrote for the St. Louis Observer, Alton Observer back in the day, wrote anti-slavery newspapers, was murdered. His printing press was, according to St. Louis Magazine, gang smashed, which sounds like something from a Facebook comment section, but I'm just going to walk right past that. He fought for freedom in a time when a lot of people weren't, died at 35, was super young, and kind of has come to define, a lot of the bad things about this city. You talk about things and you get killed for it.
That's a common theme.
It's a common theme in the history of St. Louis. 1802 to 1837. Mr. Elijah Lovejoy.
I think it's a little odd, and for my fourth and final pick, you probably didn't think about a person, and I definitely thought about this person. I'm not going to put them on, but we haven't said King Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is King Louis not on the Mount Rushmore? And it's because we already have the apotheosis.
Sure.
Right? That's the biggest reason why I would not put him on the Mount Rushmore. There's two people that I really want to put up there. The one person that I'm not putting up there is an honorable mention. A great purveyor of the city, a good representative of the city, currently alive, and doing good work in the city too. And also, at the beginning of this conversation, I just said, people not bad to look at. Let's go with the person that I was thinking about going with, the person that most people across the world would probably agree not bad to look at, Carly Kloss.
Are you picking Carly Kloss?
I'm not.
Okay.
But one of the honorable mention,
Gotcha.
She's like the world's probably one of the world's top models, but also just an incredibly great person for St. Louis. A person that's incredibly not bad to look at, and somebody that I would have loved to have met when this person was alive, and extremely pivotal for St. Louis, but the world. Probably one of the most pivotal people in American history, the most intelligent people in American history. I think this might be the most important person in St. Louis history for me. And I knew you guys might not pick them, but it's Maya Angelou.
Oh, man, that was who I was going to pick now. That literally was like, oh, man, why didn't we pick her?
Yeah, because Maya Angelou, man, what a beautiful human being. Like, inside and out, everything about that person, beautiful. Everything about her.
Did you just wait, was part of that Maya Angelou was hot?
Maya Angelou's hot.
Okay. Stand by it.
A
take I wasn't expecting. But
Maya Angelou was hot, dude. Maya Angelou was a babe.
Young Maya
Old people are hot.
Angelou. Yeah, sure, yes, not being ageist. Oh, man, but
I know.
All right.
Maya Angelou was a babe.
Google it.
Thank you for my dub.
Cool.
Appreciate you. Yeah. I'm telling you, man.
That's the picture I'm looking at. Yeah. Put it up here.
Nice. All right.
Nice.
With my fourth and final pick. So once again, Mount Rushmore, celebrating folks who are pivotable.
Yep.
Pivotable. We can move them.
Celebrating. It's gonna be
keep their eyes on you no matter what.
Mount Rushmore, celebrating folks that without whom the reality of this country, or in this case this city, would not look the way it does. So I've got our George Washington and August Shoto, first dude, founder, cool. I got Bob Castley as our Teddy, kind of our wild man, wild card. Has a lot of character that people like to emulate sometimes. We're only looking at the good stuff.
Wins only.
Erastus Wells, Train Daddy. I think of him as the Thomas Jefferson pick, as someone who was entrepreneurial in mind and spirit, and kind of shaping the direction we ought to take in some ways. Once again, this is the talking about the ideal legacy of Jefferson. But to go with my Abe Lincoln, someone who's on the right side of the Civil War, we've got Nathaniel Lyon. Now, Nathaniel Lyon...
You're taking Lyon?
I'm taking Lyon. So here's the thing. This was the biggest... We talk about pivotal moments in Missouri in the Civil War, with Missouri being it's borderline. People feel kind of both ways about it. There was
the commander.
The Camp Jackson affair in 1861 is kind of the big.
Or was he a general?
I forget. I would look at the
either way.
He was it's the United States Army officer who was the first Union general to be killed in the American Civil War.
Okay.
But before he was killed in the American Civil War, basically there was a pro-Confederate mob who seized the Liberty Arsenal in Liberty, Missouri, stole about 1,000 rifles and muskets.
As in Kansas City?
In Kansas City, yes. And so, like, when news of that happened, they're like, oh no, like, there was, like, rumors that, like, some Confederate sympathizers were going to try and seize the St. Louis arsenal, which had a lot more guns, 40,000 rifles and muskets. And so Leon was the one to basically, like, head that off, protect that, move that, keep that from happening. And there's a whole, I mean, it's messy history, it's war. At any rate, he was pivotal in the American Civil War, took decisive action in St. Louis to keep 40,000 rifles and muskets from falling into Confederate hands. Really, really important piece of that. So that's our Mount Rushmores. I think that mine fits the spirit of the goalposts I said at the beginning. But I also think it's the best. Now, what I would say, though, is speaking of what Mount Rushmore is or means in general, what is the real Mount Rushmore in South Dakota, but a defaced indigenous holy site that is propping up a history of great men, creating realities and only highlighting our positive imagined legacies of them. So really, truly, the true St. Louis Mount Rushmore should just be a Sugarloaf mound, undefiled and restored to uncolonized effects.
Why do you think with those picks you've won?
Why do I think I've won? Because, and I know I'm in the minority, but if you were to walk into St. Louis today and be like, how do I best understand this city right now? We have divisive food that everybody argues about. It's the word on everybody's lips, but not on everybody's tongues. Provel cheese. We have the arch. It's the first thing you see when you come into town, at least from the east. It's the thing in every logo except ours. As far as culture, we have a mid-20th century icon that continues to inspire music and is indicative of a style of music that was born here in St. Louis so much. And then we have a complicated, hard story to tell about a person who was just trying his best to do what's right for the city and for others, who was murdered at the hands of people from the city who didn't agree with him. Which, if that doesn't say stuff about St. Louis, at the Del Mar Divide, at all the other things, I don't know what does. So my Mount Rushmore makes you understand St. Louis in a nutshell.
You picked the west face of the arch, and you just said when you come into St. Louis, at least from the east side.
Here's the thing, David. When you're just looking at the arch, it's the same thing.
Don't say that to the arch.
Is this a left Twix, right Twix bullshit thing that I don't know about St. Louis? We're not carving the whole skyline. We're just carving the arch.
Here's the thing, Colin. Making a monument of a monument is kind of a hat on the hat.
It's
been overarching.
Hey, I haven't explained why I won. I don't need to, and that's the point.
Either way, we need you to comment who won because we argue consistently about who wins these drafts, but I need the social capital in this group of knowing that you think I did a really good job, and I can tell them that I'm better than them.
But see, I have self-confidence, and that's the difference. This is overarching.
The weirdest thing is that Bradley explained every single one of his picks that nobody knows about. Colin had to explain his picks that not many people know about. And then you look at mine, and everybody knows who mine are.
Yeah, and a monument is about elucidating history and holding up stuff that should be remembered, not things that people already know about.
Okay,
And you didn't
everybody
pick
knew
Maya
Thomas
Angelou for her
Jefferson.
poetry. You picked her because she's hot, and she is.
I did pick
but
her for poetry.
But it's different.
I took all of Maya Angelou. Do you not include her poetry?
No,
in
you
all
only
of
took
Maya
her
Angelou?
face because it's Mount Rushmore.
Okay, Thomas Jefferson. All those guys. Also, do you know why it's called Mount Rushmore?
Because Wes Anderson.
A great movie. No, it's named after an attorney in New York. So Mount Rushmore doesn't even have. It's named after another guy that you have no idea about. So our Mount Rushmore.
I think you
in
just
St. Louis.
You just put beans in our argument.
Disagree because it's not who's on it. And then I'm going to say who's named. All right. Our Mount Rushmore will be called Mount John Ham. Mount John Ham. And on Mount Ham will be Maya Angelou, SZA, Michael McDonald, and Fred Bird. This has been overarching.
What we didn't say, not to keep this is not overarching.
Mount Ham just sounds funny.
Mount Ham, I will admit, is pretty funny.
I'm going over to the Mount Ham. The mountain? The Mount Ham. The Mount
We're going
Ham.
to Mount Ham.
Yeah, it's a psalm. Quick hits. Where is Mount Ham?
Not
I didn't say where it's not. Where is it?
But it's not going to be at the Mounds.
It's not going to be at the
Not
Mounds.
going to be at the Mounds.
Absolutely
not.
not. We're not defacing Cahokia Mounds.
Native American history. It's going to be like directly in between the arch. Like it's going to be hanging from leg to leg.
Just like a chain.
Like all four faces in between the legs.
Like when they very occasionally in the past have hung a banner or whatever.
And people will be like, "Oh, you can't fly a plane through there. That's illegal." And then somebody does it one day, and we're like, "Let's make a monument and put faces in there so nobody flies through it anymore."
It'll be like when somebody hits a chain on their bike and it's like and like you. Bradley, where is Mount Ham?
Oh yeah, let's just throw in the field with everything else at Longmire.
There's already Big Eyeball.
Big eyeball. Carved into the ass of the apotheosis on the back.
Carved into the butt
Yep.
of the horse.
Right. Yep. Not on the balls. I've been
Because
obsessed with that
all
horse's
four
balls.
of them are a real horse's ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Historical people. Don't look them up.
Yeah.
Everyone's bad.
Everybody's bad. This is Overarching. Overarching is produced at Fly North Theatricals here in sunny Grand Center, St. Louis Magooby. Our producer is Ian Gilbert. Editing is done by Big Picture Media. Logo design is by Claire Nipper. Follow us on social media at Overarching ST Lewis. And if you're not watching this on YouTube, you should. And if you are, just go carve the like and subscribe button into the apotheosis' ass. I'm Colin.
I am David.
And I'm Bradley.
This is Overarching. Go buy a hat. Hey, Jordan, cut out that Mussolini shit.